In this lecture, we are just going to cover a small topic which you are well aware of in your high school also, you have done it. So that is Ohm's law. So in this case, first of all, we take a conductor and across the conductor, we apply a potential difference, or you can say we apply a battery or cell which supplies a voltage of V. So V is the potential difference which is applied across the ends of the conductor. So due to this potential applied, the charge carriers will start drifting. So if this is the positive terminal, this end of the conductor is positive and this is negative, then electrons will be drifting towards the positive side. So the current will be flowing opposite to the drift velocity of the electrons, that is, it will be flowing in the clockwise direction, whereas electrons will be moving in the anti-clockwise direction in the whole circuit. So when the electrons are moving, as we have already said in the previous lectures, that the electrons, they will be encountering the positive ions, because positive ions are very heavy comparatively, so they will be almost stationary. So during the path of the electrons will be colliding with these positive ions, due to which they will be facing an obstruction. That is, there will be a certain resistance in the conductor to the flow of the electrons. So these positive ions will be obstructing the flow of electrons, means they will be stopping the electrons to move towards the positive terminal. So there will be a certain resistance inside this conductor. So we are considering a conductor across which a potential difference of V is applied, and if we apply a potential difference, the electrons, or you can say the charge carriers, will start moving and hence the current is generated. Now Ohm's law states that if physical conditions are constant, physical conditions remaining the same, like temperature, pressure, physical conditions remaining the same, the electric current through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across its ends. So Ohm's law states that the potential difference which is applied across its ends is directly proportional to the current produced. So more is the potential difference applied, more will be the current. So when you will remove this proportionality, V is equal to a constant which is represented by capital R into I. So this is called as the resistance of the material. So this is the resistance of conductor, and resistance from this formula, resistance is equal to V divided by I. And what is the unit of resistance? SI unit of resistance is ohm. It is represented by this symbol, so it is called as ohm. Now how do we define 1 ohm? So resistance should be equal to 1 ohm, means potential difference is equal to 1 volts. What is the unit of potential difference? It is volts. And current, if we put it as 1 amperes. So if we apply a potential difference of 1 volts across a conductor, and if on applying 1 volt of potential difference, 1 ampere of current is generated. So you can insert ammeter over here and you can measure the amount of current. So if for applying 1 voltage of potential difference across the conductor, 1 ampere of current is generated, then the resistance of this conductor is said to be 1 ohm. So if 1 volt of potential difference is applied, if 1 ampere corresponding current comes out to be 1 ampere, then the resistance is said to be 1 ohm of that conductor. So the unit of resistance is ohm, represented by this symbol. And then we have the term as resistivity or specific resistance. Resistivity is denoted by rho S, or simply rho in some books. So resistivity is actually the resistance of a conductor of unit area and unit length, of unit area of cross section and unit length. So let's suppose if you have this conductor and its area of cross section is a unit, or you can say 1 meter square, and its length is equal to 1 meters, then the resistance of this conductor will be nothing but the resistivity. It will be just equal to resistivity. So resistivity is defined by taking a unit area of cross section and a unit length of the conductor. So whatever the resistance will be, that will be nothing but called as the resistivity of that material. So resistivity is defined from resistance. So resistance is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. More is the length of the conductor, more will be the resistance offered. But the resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. More is the area of cross section, less will be the resistance offered by the conductor. So this is how the resistance is related to the dimensions of a conductor. Now when you will remove this proportionality, so resistance will be equal to a constant, and that constant is nothing but the resistivity into L divided by A as it is. So this is the formula of resistance, how it is related to the resistivity of the material. From here you can take specific resistance or resistivity on left hand side, and that will be equal to R into A divided by L. R into A divided by L. So this is the formula of finding the resistivity of a material. Now what is the unit of this? The unit of this quantity is ohm meters. And that you can find from here what is the unit of resistance. It is equal to ohm. Unit of area in SI units is equal to meter square, and length is in meters. So what will be the unit of resistivity? It will be equal to ohm into meters. How do we define the resistivity? If you will put the area of cross section as 1 meter square, and if you put this length of the conductor as 1 meters, then whatever the resistance will be on the right hand side, you will just get capital R. So you are putting this as 1 meter square and this as 1 meters. So on the right hand side you will just get a resistance. So whatever will be the resistance of a conductor whose length is 1 meters and area of cross section is 1 meter square, that resistance will be nothing but the resistivity of that conductor. So this is how we define the resistivity. Then there is another term that we use, is the conductance of the material. Conductance is represented by capital G, and conductance is nothing but reciprocal of resistance. Reciprocal of this resistance will be nothing but conductance, and its units will be ohm inverse, or it is also termed as MHO, that is inverse of ohm, and it is also called as Siemens. So this is the unit of conductance. Inverse of or reciprocal of resistance gives us the conductance, and another quantity is the conductivity. So more is the resistance, less will be the conductance. And if less is the resistance, more will be the conductance of the materials, that is its capacity to conduct will be more in that case. Now what is conductivity? Conductivity is written as sigma, and it is a reciprocal of resistivity. So reciprocal of resistance is conductance and reciprocal of resistivity is conductivity. So 1 divided by rho s, and the units of resistivity are ohm into meters. So what will be the unit of conductivity? It will be ohm inverse, meter inverse. So this is another quantity that we define for a conductor. In the next lecture we will discuss about microscopic form of Ohm's law. Here we have just done the general Ohm's law that we usually study. So in this case we have V is equal to IR. So I is the electric current and it is a macroscopic quantity. So current is a macroscopic quantity. In the next lecture we are going to see the microscopic form of Ohm's law. So in that case, instead of capital I, we will be talking about J vector. And what is J vector? It is the electric current density. And this is a microscopic quantity. So we will see the derivation of microscopic form of Ohm's law.